Accents, a manual for actors. This is Robert Blumenfeld. This compact disc contains practice exercises found in the book. When working on an accent, drill them and record them, so that you can listen and compare them with what you hear on the CD. Chapter 1. British RP. Practice for schwas. To do, today. To try. To go. To be. To have. To say. To come. To go. For you. For me. For him. For her. For us. For them. For this. For that. 1. The other day I was going to say something amusing. The other day I was going to say something amusing. Secretary of State for the Home Department. Secretary or Secretary or Secretary of State for the Home Department. 3. Secretary, separate, preposterous, laboratory, garage, vigilant, believe, tribunal, police. Secretary, separate, preposterous, laboratory, garage, vigilant, believe, tribunal, police. Practice for dropping of final R. 1. The fireman at work saw the fire first near the far door. The fireman at work saw the fire first near the far door. 2. Barbara was very barbaric. Very, very barbaric indeed. Barbara was very barbaric. Very, very barbaric indeed. Practice for the broad, open-throated A. Partial list. Advantage. After. Words beginning and ending with after. Afternoon. Afterwards. Hereafter, etc. Answer. Ask. Aunt. Banana. Basket. Bastard. Bath. Blast. Branch. Brass. Broadcast. Calf. Can't. Cask. Casket. Cast. Cast. Castle. Chance. Chancellor. Chant. Clasp. Class. Words beginning with class. Classmate. Classroom. Classy, etc. Command. Countermand. Daft. Dance. Demand. Disaster. Downcast. Draft. Enchant. Entrance. Verb. Example. Fast. Fasten. Gala. Ghastly. Glass. Graft. Grant. Words ending in graph, telegraph, etc. But note that the word graphic is pronounced graphic. Words ending in graphic are pronounced graphic. Graphite is pronounced graphite. Words ending in graphical, such as geographical, are pronounced graphical. Grasp. Grass. Half. Lance. Last. Lava. Laugh. Lithograph. Mask. Mast. Master. Nasty. Outcast. Paragraph. A in first syllable, A in last syllable. Paragraph. Pass. Passover. Past. Pastor. Pastoral. Path. Perchance. Phonograph. Photograph. Plant. Plaster. Prance. Raft. Rascal. Rasp. Raspberry. Rather. Reprimand. Salve. Sample. Shaft. Shan't. Slander. Slant. Staff. Staunch. Surpass. Task. Tomato. Note, the A in potato is as it is in General American. Trance. Transcript. Transport. And other words beginning with the prefix trans. Vast. Waft. Wrath. Note, the A in fancy, gas, mass, and glacier sounds like glacier without the R, but note, glacial is pronounced glacial, sound like the A in that. Practice for the diphthong O. 1. I know I don't know how to get over to the road. I know I don't know how to get over to the road. 2. I made a great deal of progress in my rehearsal process. I made a great deal of progress in my rehearsal process. Practice for the ES ending. Bases, catches, snatches, batches, masses, brosses, dances. Practice for the OW diphthong. 1. How now, brown cow. How now, brown cow. 2. The outhouse is out back. The outhouse is out back. 3. Out and about. Out and about. Practice sentence. I don't mean to arouse controversy or to appear discriminatory, but one must take one's medicine and vitamins on schedule to avoid getting migraines, said the Nicaraguan lieutenant, narrating a story to his homosexual nephew, the laboratory clerk and saxophonist, whose car was in the garage. I don't mean to arouse controversy or to appear discriminatory, but one must take one's medicine and vitamins on schedule to avoid getting migraines, said the Nicaraguan lieutenant, narrating a story to his homosexual nephew, the laboratory clerk and saxophonist, whose car was in the garage. Controversy, discriminatory, medicine, vitamins, schedule, migraines, Nicaraguan, lieutenant, narrating, homosexual, nephew, laboratory, clerk, saxophonist, garage. Practice for pitch. Oh, I say. Oh, I say. Oh, I say. You idiot, how dare you? Would you care for some tea? Would you care for some tea? Or, would you care for some tea? Were you going there today, if I may ask? Were you going there today, if I may ask? Emphasizing the word there changes the pattern. Were you going there today, if I may ask? Or, were you going there today, if I may ask? It was an extremely good plan. 3 British patterns. It was an extremely good plan. It was an extremely good plan. It was an extremely good plan. Unfortunately, it's not quite the right shade of blue. Unfortunately, it's not quite the right shade of blue. So I said to him, "What are you standing there for, man? Fire!" Well, he fired all right. Hit the choir stalls, as it turned out. "Good gracious," I said, "what do you want to do that for?" "Well, you told me to fire," he said. "Can you imagine? Bloody cheek! How dare he contradict me? I could use a whisky and soda." May it please you, my lord, if I may offer your lordship some idea of the circumstances in which my client most unfortunately found himself, I think your lordship will realise the extreme provocation he was under. Very well, but don't be too long about it. We haven't got all day, you know. As your lordship may recall, I had sent to your lordship's chambers the papers regarding the original brief. Yes, get on with it. We know all about that. I most respectfully submit to your lordships that 20 years is much too long. Do you really think so? This court is adjourned sine die. I wish to say that you have performed an invaluable service for the Crown. That is, I believe, the task with which history has charged us. If you're anxious for to shine in the high aesthetic line as a man of culture rare, you must get up all the germs of the transcendental terms and plant them everywhere. The idea is this: it should not be impossible to meet both objectives, but the democratic process must take priority. The opening of the general prologue. Juan that April with his chores sote, the drochte of marsh hath persed to the rote, and bathed every vein in switch liqueur, of which whereto engendered is the flour. Shakespearean English practice, Sonnet 29. When in disgrace, with fortune and men's eyes, I all alone beweep me outcast state, and trouble deaf heaven with me bootless cries, and look upon myself and curse me fate, wishing me like to one more rich in hope, fated like him with friends possessed, desiring this man's art and that man's scope, with what I most enjoy contented lest, yet in these thoughts myself almost despising, haply I think on thee, and then me state, like to the lark at break of day arising, from sullen earth sings hymns at heaven's gate. For thy sweet love remembered, such wealth brings, that then I scorn to change me state with kings. Contemporary British practice. I believe the police solved the problem, and did it very handily too. What I really wanted to tell you was that I enjoyed dinner the other evening. It was wonderful. I was so happy eating that delicious food. So that's not what I actually meant to say, you see. I hope that's clear enough, you poor dear. Do you plan to do some hang gliding or some water skiing when you get there? I mean, when you get there, what do you plan to do? Can't you tell me what you're going to do? Your judgments have been made hastily, as they so often must be. We all fear that parliamentary yawn.